Hey, this is Al McGee with YETicket.com. Well, I'm going to talk to Director Oliver Thompson about his film, Welcome to Happiness. What a title, Oliver. Welcome to Happiness? Tell us a little bit about the film.
Well, it came out actually in 2016 originally. So the exciting thing right now is we're kind of getting this what we're calling like a special edition re-release, which is really cool to get. I guess a second take at getting to put your thing out there. We've done a bunch of editing and juiced it up a little bit and done some cool things. So I'm excited about the new version.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw a version. The publicist sent me one. I hope that's the newer version that
I sure hope so. Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw.
yeah. I'm
I
sure
hope
it
it
is.
is.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
And well, I enjoyed it, and I wanted to understand. You also wrote this script. What is your definition of happiness? Because you seem to have a definition in the film, but what is your, let's say, personal definition of happiness?
Wow, that's a heavy question. It's still 10 a.m. here.
Well, you wrote the film.
Well, happiness to me, I think that's pretty hard to define, but I think when you find something that kind of, whatever it is, makes you feel just present and not worried about what's coming up and not concerned about what happened in the past, but you're just really in the moment. That's happiness, and it can happen, I think, maybe just sitting with a TV show or a book or with someone you love or whatever. And it can happen when you're, I don't know, chasing your dreams and running marathons, whatever. But happiness to me is just, being totally present and enjoying the moment.
Okay, yeah. And I think you had a little bit of that philosophy in your film also.
Yeah.
Because in this film, people was trying to seek happiness, but not only that, some type of feeling relieved, feeling some type of joy. Is that what you were going for also in this film?
Yeah, I think, one of the big sort of ideas behind the movie is just the idea of people being able to undo something from their past that they regret. So I guess given the definition of happiness I just gave, that really wouldn't be true happiness. If you're trying to undo something from your past, then you're not living in the moment and just accepting the moment for what it is. And so I think that that might be, kind of to what you're saying, like the people in the movie are all they're all in this dark place, and they're trying to undo this one thing. They're given this opportunity to undo this one thing from their past. But the question is that really going to bring you happiness?
Yeah, it did come to that some explanation that, will this really make you happy? Will this really make you feel satisfied if
Right.
you can't undo what happened in the past? And for myself, I'm getting older. I'm looking back, and but when I look back, I said, look where I'm at today.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I don't want to undo what I did back then.
Exactly. Yeah. Because even if it seemed, maybe just awful at the time, you look at your life now and you realize, oh, well, this wouldn't have happened, and that would have never happened, and this, that, and the other thing. And, it's, like you said, it brings us to where we are today. And if we can try to just, be happy with where we are today, then we can, I guess, come to terms with what happened in the past.
Exactly. And, there's a lot of good points in this film that I really like. But let's talk about a couple of the characters, though. Let's talk about Woody, played by Kyle Gallner. or
Gallner.
near.
Gallner,
I
yeah,
say
Kyle Gallner. Gallner, Kyle
Gallner, yeah,
Gallner.
it's a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
actor.
yeah.
I've seen him in many things.
Yeah, he's great.
Tell us about Woody.
Woody, you know, I don't think I knew this while I was writing. I wasn't hyper aware, but looking back, in a lot of ways, Woody's kind of similar to me.
Oh,
You
really?
know, yeah, I think so. So um, it's hard for me to talk about Woody in that way, I guess, because when I watched the movie, I realized I am in so many ways just Woody. So yeah, but
Well,
the
Woody's
one thing
he's a smart guy. He's a
well,
writer. He's a smart guy.
well, on the
He
page, you know, you have the opportunity to, you can base someone on yourself, but I have I can expound on his his bona fides as well. So I'm, you know, Woody's an enhanced version of me, maybe a better version.
Oh, really? Because you know he seemed to be a type of person that, well, he is aware of his surroundings, but you know he seems to be a loner,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a very smart guy because in the film he writes children books,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to, you know, he's concerned about kids because he writes these books,
Mm-hmm.
and also he, you know, he wants a relationship, and he lucked up on a relationship in the film, which I've seen that many times. The way they met, he and his girlfriend met,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know, and I said, "Wow, that's normal."
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun scene. Just the chance meeting at it's actually, you know, when I talk about Woody being maybe a version of me, but like the version that I can idealize on paper, I'm probably not nearly as smooth as Woody. Although he's not very smooth in that opening scene. He kind of
No, he's not.
puts his foot. So maybe that one is pretty true.
No, he's not. He's not. So that's you right there, right?
That's me. Yeah, exactly.
That was very funny, but you know, but you know, he got his point across.
Yes.
And Moses. Tell me a little bit about Moses, played by Nick Offerman.
Offerman, yeah. Well, I remember my first conversation with Nick about Moses, and I'll just say what Nick said because I can't say it better myself. He said, you know, I think this guy, he's kind of like Yoda if Yoda was the plumber. So to give some background for people who haven't seen, Moses is the landlord of this apartment building, which is the center of the movie. You know, this guy has Woody, who we've been talking about, lives in an apartment where he has a magical doorway, and these people show up, and he guides them through. He's sort of the gatekeeper to this magical doorway in a boring old simple one-bedroom apartment. Moses is the landlord of the apartment, so he's kind of the wise elder to Woody, and helps Woody understand his purpose here, his greater purpose. And so but he's at the same time, he's still the landlord, and we see him doing things like landscaping things. So I think, you know, to go back to what Nick said, he's Yoda if Yoda had to fix the pipes.
Yeah, he did a very good job. But what I'm gonna tell you, what also caught my eyes and things like that was the set design, and also that very colorful wallpaper in those rooms. Tell me about that. How did you choose that? And did you create that? Tell me a little about that.
Sure. Yeah, no,
I love filmmaking.
That's a great question. And I love talking about stuff like that, like the set design and the actual mechanics of filmmaking. So the wall I think that you're referring to is in Woody's apartment, which is the main living room of his apartment has the big crazy mural on the wall, which is not wallpaper. Right. If we were smarter, we would have done it as wallpaper, but we went the long way, and that's actually a hand painted mural on the wall.
Oh, that's very beautiful.
It took, you know, so it was a work of a couple different artists. One of them being our producer, and then a little bit I did myself even, and it was a kind of a group effort. And I sort of did design it. There's a lot of hidden things in that mural, like I guess you'd call them like some Easter eggs and things like that. And it tells a story. So the mural was not in any way random. There was a lot of thought put into every aspect of it, but it took us a long time. And yeah, we did it the real way. We just actually painted a mural, and it took I think like a couple months, maybe a month or 6 weeks or something, before, during pre-production, to kind of get that ready. And then all throughout the movie, there is, it's a colorful movie. Like you said, there's a whimsy, I think, to the movie, because we are dealing with magical realism. And so at no point in the movie do you ever, I don't think, feel too much like you're grounded in our normal reality. It's all a little bit of a heightened reality.
Right.
And that I think the set design and the color scheme you're talking about maybe is kind of aiding.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the color scheme, and even when you went to Proctor's house too, I like that set design too, with the spiral staircase, and also the yellow colors and things like that too. And that set that you had. Now, how did you design that for Proctor's house, and why did you give him those bright colors and things like that? Because he always had a smile. The character, always had a smile on his face,
always, yes,
and never frowned in the film.
Yeah, and
those bright colors. So did the colors associate themselves with the character Proctor?
I mean, I'll say this. I don't know about how specifically. I'll say this. I always would say, when we were making the movie, to the casting crew, but particularly the art department, where we were designing these sets and working on things and costumes too. And I would say that there's this magical door, like we just talked about. And I'd say there's the world that happens on this side of the door and the world that happens on this side of the door. And one is a little bit more reality, and then one is just pure I guess fantasy in a way. So
right.
I think there's the characters in the movie that exist on one side of the door or the other, and Proctor is one of the fun guys that can go back and forth, so I think that when he comes back into our world, he just brings with him the sort of like a heightened reality of the world through the door, which is a magical world. So so he brings the colors and the smiles and all that with him.
And which is Proctor's played by Keegan-Michael Key also, which is a very good actor.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Has a lot of charisma, and I really enjoy him. And I was surprised that he was in this film, and what he did in this film too. He brought so much life into this film. And not only that, the young lady who played Lillian, I really enjoyed that character too.
Yeah.
But when you sat down to write this, what was your main purpose of writing this film? Let's get back to that.
Yeah, you're really hitting me with some doozies, which is great. Can we go back to just talking about set design again? Sure. No, I'm kidding. I don't know what the purpose was, because I don't really write thinking about things like that. I just kind of come up with a story that I think is cool and let it sit around and fester long enough, and if it ends up being something I can't get out of my head, then it's like, okay, I think I want to write this, or enough ideas start accumulating that you realize, hey, there's really a cool story here. I should write this. And so that's more, I know it's not very romantic, but I liked the idea. I knew that there was a cool opportunity for a story there. And you kind of like once you start writing, maybe uncover some more of the why. And then certainly sometimes it's not until the movie's done and you look back, like now, even years later, and you can really see, oh, like what I was saying about me being Woody. There are
Right.
parallels between me and Woody that I was not at all aware of until my mom saw the movie. And she said
Oh,
to me,
okay.
like, it really hit her like a ton of bricks. There's a point in the movie in particular where she said, geez, that's, that's you, and I realized, oh God, you're right. So the only thing, that I really felt in common with Woody while I was writing was his tendency to procrastinate when he's supposed to be working. That I could relate to, but
Yeah.
no, there's a lot more in there. So yeah, I don't know. I probably don't think about it as much as maybe I should, or I just kind of write and then let it figure itself out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can understand that. And and Oliver, well, I always ask this basic question: why did you get into directing? I saw a little bit of your stuff on IMDb. You produced many segments for shows and things like that, and you're directing now. Why do you want to be a director? And also, do you feel the power of a director when you direct?
Power of a director. Well, the first part of the question, why? I mean, I without knowing it, wanted to be a director when I was probably 8 years old. I've wanted to be a director. I've wanted to make movies my entire life. I have some pretty funny memories. I was actually just talking about with someone the other day. I look back and realize, oh my God, I was fantasizing about being a director without even knowing that's what I was doing. Because when you're 8, you watch movies, you don't realize there's a director and there's a you just see the characters and this magical world is just happening in front of you. But there was some part of me that knew I wanted to be the person who made the decisions, that why this is this and why that's that. And I won't bore you with some of those stories now, but they're really telling. An 8-year-old Oliver sort of already fantasy directing without even realizing that's what I was doing. The power of a director. I mean, I never thought of the word power.
Well, to me, I see a director. He is the one in power.
Yeah,
he makes the decision. He tells the people, what time to come to the set. He tells them where they should be at. And, a lot of it does go based on the script that he probably collaborated with someone or someone else wrote it, but still he has to put it all together. I mean, to me, I see a director as the man who's in power.
Yeah, well, certainly the directors, and I would just say that the director is definitely at the end of the day the ultimate storyteller. They're the one who is telling the story and making all the decisions that need to be made in order to tell their story the way they want to tell it. So I suppose there's some control, maybe is another word, but all those seem so heavy-handed. The other side of the coin is that a director can't do it. That's the one frustrating thing about filmmaking, actually, is that it is so dependent on such a large group of people, both cast and crew. Sometimes it would be nice to be Woody and just be able to be alone with your children's books, because there's pencil and a paper is all you need. The director might be the captain of the ship, but it's a really big ship with a really important crew and cast, and all these people without which you just wouldn't have anything. So yeah, I don't know. That's how I see it anyway. Just another member of the team.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I see that. Well, Oliver, captain of the ship. Well, that's it for me for the day, and that's it. Right. I really enjoyed you, and again, I really enjoyed the film. Because the film is relevant to me today.
Oh, cool.
Even though you made it in 2015, 2016, it still is relevant because you still hear people. I'm looking for my happiness. I'm trying to get in my happy place. I'm trying, and your film does have a lot of truth to it, and that's why I said it's still relevant today. For me, it was, or it is. So that's why I enjoyed your film.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it was really nice talking to you.
Yeah. And thank you for taking time with me, Al McGee, at yeticket.com.
All right.
And I'm sure Andy going to send you the link to this interview, and watch yourself.
All right.
All right.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you very much.
All right. Bye.